How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get your imagination all revved up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Frank Brangwyn. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. I love his draftsmanship. I think he's amazing. He's wonderful. Look at that piece over there. That is so beautiful. Just so, it's like every line, he knows exactly where to put the shadows and the lights and the structure. It feels so loose yet so anatomically wonderful. I'm just enamored with his stuff. I think he's phenomenal. I urge you guys to check out more stuff from him. I don't know why, but for some reason I've never heard of his stuff until recently, and I think he's just enormous talent. I skipped that one. I don't know if that was completely safe for work. But just look at his structures, the way that he has a looseness with tight objects. You know, the perspective and getting this to feel like it's made of something sturdy, but still feel loose and lively, and like there's movement throughout it. Just a phenomenal talent. It's almost like a blend of, I mean, some of his stuff is it reminds me of Mucha, but just with a more relaxed feeling to it. Love this. Look how beautiful these poses are. I love this stuff. And I usually say that I don't like color very much. Not that I dislike color, but I like muted tones more. But for some reason, the bright colors that he puts in, this was, I believe, some mural compilation that he did, they just work for me. I feel like they're definitely bright, but have that sense of balance with it. It's not too 90s hypercolorish. Again, just gorgeous pieces. I love that he does this thing that I tend to do myself, and that's exaggerate the feet and hands probably more than I should. I don't know, they're just so expressive and so fun to do that I always want to make them bigger than probably is correct. And you can tell, like, just right here, the way that he does these feet, they're a little bit bigger, not a ton, but a little more exaggerated than probably should be. And I personally love that aesthetic. Again, a great posing here and lovely drapery. It gets the nice weight and drag throughout there. Just gorgeous. But I did want to share a quote that I was able to find from him, and he said, "Get the stuff from nature as much as you can." And I think this is a great quote because it's about observing and taking in as much as you can from the outside world and from what is real. You know, when you want to get into, if you're doing animation, you know, it's always good to shoot video reference or to have a camera or a mirror nearby where you can kind of work things out naturally and then try and put that in there. I do tend to shy away too much from doing a ton of video reference, though. I find that it can start getting really stiff or less loose. I guess I'd be saying it's stiff, but I probably should blend in a little bit more myself sometimes. But I like to have fun with it too, you know. Treat it like a creative outlet rather than just a mimicry of real life. But you still want to have those foundations, and especially when you're first learning, you really, really, really want to be like, okay, what is real? How does this work? I remember, like, when I first did a bouncing ball animation for my first time, I think almost like frame for frame, I was just, where exactly is this? Almost to the point of, you know, layover and tracing. It wasn't tracing, but it was getting pretty close to where I was measuring things out and stuff. But I feel like you can get too caught up in that kind of stuff too. But it's good to understand. So let's go ahead and get into some animation before I ramble on for a million hours. We're working on our skirmish shot still. I'm glad that we can finally get into some more. I feel like after yesterday's retiming, this is finally starting to come together a little bit more. So now it's just kind of going through. I know we added some extra frames in here, so I think this is pretty much where we wanted to attack. As you can see, we're getting a little bit of lag because I've got everything turned on here. So let's go ahead and turn off some of our background stuff here. There we go, just so our shot moves a little bit quicker. So I think that's where we were kind of going with. I was just going to be mixing this up a little bit more. So let's just get right into it. Before we do just the usual stuff, we're using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information on that, check out the links in the description below. And we are using the Goon rig that comes from the How to Cheat in Maya series, which as well, links in the description below if you guys want to check that stuff out as well for yourself. And the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and take another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and play here. So let's go set from around frame 90 to, let's say, 113. It's kind of where we want to look at. Let's just let that blend into the next action, so maybe 119. So that's about 20 frames for us to attack here. Let's do a quick play blast and just see how it feels overall. So I'm just going to pause this real quick and we'll take a look. Okay, so I want to kind of mix up the landing a little bit more so that not everything hits so much on the same frame. Maybe have the hand drag a frame or so. And then also speed up the movement there. It slows out of that position for too long. And then probably push the whole thing about 2 frames sooner. And there's also a little hiccup in the hammer there, so try and get that working a little bit better. And I think this foot should maybe go over a few frames and start like a frame sooner. But I think that's a good place to start with. Some definite things to attack here, so let's turn our nerve curves on and also make sure that our other controllers here are visible. Okay, now one of the things we did want to do is, oh, sorry about that. Grab this arm here. Let's go ahead and set that there. And then we'll have it land at 94. And maybe we'll leave 91 there. Just kind of want this to fall a little bit more. And maybe let this go out a little bit. And same with the wrist. Better in between these two though. So let's grab everything here, set that, and I'll set that. Go ahead and delete this one so we get a little more of an arc between those. And maybe still a little bit more up there. Still try and watch that arc a little bit more. I think this should maybe be a little bit more forward here. And go ahead and let the fingers hit about there. We'll go ahead and drag them out a little bit more here. Just to make this a little more interesting. And something more like that, and maybe a little more space in the thumb there. This one probably should be a little more curved here. Alright, let's do a quick play blast and just see how that movement Alright, it feels a little bit more like not everything's really hitting at the same time, but we still have a good amount of weight there. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at maybe we'll delete this one so we still have a little bit of for a little bit longer here. So go ahead. Go ahead and set that to about 100. Yeah, let's look. Is this where the IK switch goes? So let's go ahead and push that over this way a little bit more. Okay, I think that'll play a little bit better. Let's go ahead and do another play blast and just see how it feels. Okay, it feels better. And there's a little hiccup in the elbow here too. We want to try and polish that out, so let's look at that. See, like right here. What is that? Is there like a elbow twist there? Make sure we're still recording here. Okay. Nope. Is there a shoulder bump there? Let's go set that. Maybe we'll get rid of this one so it's not as quick there. It's not going to be perfect on this elbow getting up there, but let's try and make it a little bit better. The elbow twist up a little bit more. Could probably even go a little bit more like that. Just make sure it doesn't really pop so much. I'll just go ahead and do another play blast again. Alright, it's okay. I think it still probably kicks out a little bit further than it needs to though. So let's maybe try and tone that in a little bit more. Just because it's going to flash real quick there. So I'll try and get something so it's sort of showing up there a little bit earlier. Again, I'm going to just kind of let that one frame have a little bit of intersection there. And let's go ahead and maybe drag the head a little bit more here. Let's try and keep it a little bit more. Not intersecting the ground plane on the head here. Let's look probably a few frames ahead here since I got like 130. Let's go ahead and delete this one, see if we can get a little better blending between those two. And maybe here we could have it be a little more straight on here. That look so it's right in there. Yeah, let's go and delete that one. Maybe a little bit lower. And keep it down a little bit more. It's a little bit better. I think we could still have him kind of looking at him there. And maybe tweak that one a little bit. Let's see, where's our graph editor here? Try and make that a little bit better. I want to keep it closer there. Still want to keep in mind the arc here throughout that movement. And let's look at this foot here. I like it where it is there. I feel like it should get there a couple frames sooner. Maybe not. Maybe take when we have it 21 and bring that a frame sooner so it eases into that position a little bit more. We still have a little bit of movement through there. Now, I think I'm going to have this these up here. Get that toe down so it peels off there a little bit more. Maybe a little bit further forward. And we'll drag the toe a little bit here. Move it forward and up a little bit as well. Just so it peels off of there better. Okay, that's coming together a little bit better now. Now let's look at this hand here. Maybe it's the shoulder. See, there's just that little bit of, so let's take what we have at like 106 and hold it to about 108, so it stays in pretty close to the same. And we'll need that to be a little bit further down there. Set that one, we'll go ahead and delete that, and delete that. We'll need it to be a little bit further down already, so we kind of don't have that elbow pop in there. Start it a little bit here. That's not working for some reason. Why is that hand doing that? Okay, it's fine there, fine there, fine there. Let's go ahead and delete that one. Rotate it a little bit more here. For some reason we kind of came off there a little bit, so let's look at the fingers here. Actually, let's rotate that back a little bit more. I think it just might be a finger thing. And pretty much just right on this frame too. Might need to go a little bit further out here. Which means that we're going to have to redo that shoulder again. That's all right. Let's go delete that one. And delete that one. Let's look at our graph editor and see if we can figure out why this one's having some trouble here. Let's keep our edges there a little bit longer. That feels a little better. And now let's look at that elbow again. So we have it straight all there, so we want to make sure that we key that one. Actually, it's not the elbow, it's the shoulder, right? Okay, so it's straight through there. And we're going to need to keep it straight there. So let's delete everything in between for right now. And we'll need to go a little bit more here, just so we don't lose that connection here. We said we wanted to do this foot maybe a frame sooner, so it started a little bit more. So let's try and take everything here and just push it one frame sooner. And we'll need to get that knee twist so it's not through there just yet. Try and get a better blend in between there. And then maybe go with one more frame in between there so we still have a little bit of movement there. Maybe we'll even hold it for another frame here. So I'll take 108 and hold that there. Just don't want it moving so much. Feels a little better. Okay, and let's do a quick play blast of everything here. Let's see how we're coming along. Alright, it's okay, there's a little bit of intersection in the arm and the head, I think, in that move, so we gotta be careful of that. And then the last thing I want to do is just kind of break down this final move as he gets into that last position. I think it's a little too quick and hits at the same time as the other character, which I want him to still kind of have a little more follow through and then a little bit of settle there. So we'll break that down a little bit more. But let's look through here. Like I said, I think there's a spot where the arm intersects through the head. No? Maybe I'm just seeing that move for what it is. Which I'm fine with that. Okay. So that's fine. Let's look at the hips here. So let's look at just everything on this character here. And slow down this last bit of movement a little bit more. So go one frame here, one frame there. much throwing an extra frame into all of this. So let's, what's this, about 140? So we go about half speed really through what we already have. Alright, let's see how that plays out a little bit better. Okay. Alright, it's a lot better, but everything's hitting really at the same time. So let's play with the feet first. So this foot could land, I think, one frame sooner. And this foot could land one frame sooner. Let's kind of get this working a little bit better here. We'll kind of peel this foot off. Let's go over a little bit more, up. Even one frame sooner, make it even quicker. I think that'll play out a little bit better. Let's watch that again. Yeah, I think that works a little bit better just looking at the feet here. And we get that little bit of crossover. So we have that slight hold where both feet are on the ground, and then he kind of recoils to get into that position. Now, I want to look at this arm again, because I think it should still continue to swing over. So let's look at that. What would it be? Rotate Z? Or rotate Y even? Let's check the arc a little bit more. Probably push it over there a little bit. It's still over, just overshoot kind of where we were going. Down, over even more. Let's take a couple steps back because I want to make sure that I'm still getting that pose that I liked here. So that's where I want it to go. So we've got 1, 2. Let's make this over further, down, over further, down. Down further here. let's just kind of look at the arc of how the edge of the sword's going through here. We've got that one, that one, that one. And watch our spacing here throughout that move. Maybe go one more frame so I can try and still get a little bit of the tip of that sword still showing here. So you can still see that a little bit more over, so the silhouette reads a little better. And look at this hand. And I'll have to go up a little bit over. It's a little bit clearer, so you see that little tip of the sword coming out. Let's maybe not get that far yet. Again, let's track the arc on that hand. I know it flashed out there when we're playing it, so. It's kind of occupying the same space though, you know? So. Should still move over a little bit more. I think we come back in a little bit. Maybe not as much, so it kind of slows out there. This one could go down and over a little bit more. Okay, let's see if that works a little bit better. Okay, it's still okay, but I think we could take pretty much the last couple of frames and space that out to almost like 6 frames, just so that we have a little more settle and everything there, and then do a little bit of kind of heaviness to the chest here. Okay, so let's go here. Grab everything we've got here. Go like 138 to 140. Make this like 150 here. And we'll set everything there. And put that back at 142. And let's go ahead and make this hand actually hit its 140 a couple frames sooner, so it's not everything that's hitting that same way. And we will drop the shoulder here a little bit. And we just might not be able to have that hand go down so low here. Let's look at the translate Y there. Let's just do something more like that. would like this to be a little bit lower if we can get it there. And let's maybe rotate it out a little bit more here too. And look at our translate Z, which is still working okay. X here, just getting rid of any grit that we have through there. And look at our rotates there. And our rotate Y's here. This one should actually be a little more like that. Okay, and I'll rotate Z's as well, which surprisingly isn't as broken as I thought it might be. We still need a little bit more movement between these ones here. So let's go ahead and push that over here. And again, up a little bit more, over a little bit more. Okay, feels a little better. Now let's look at the fingers here. We didn't really do anything too exciting with those fingers so far. So I know I like this pose here, and I know I need to hit this one probably about 140. Let's go ahead and delete that. I don't know that I love this pose right there. It's okay, but I think the thumb should be dragging a little bit more. Bend it down a little bit there. I think that's okay. We'll go ahead and delete this one. Delete that. And let's tweak this a little bit more. Just so it's a little more interesting pose there. Bring that in a little bit more here. Let's see. Drag those a little bit more there. This one here feels like it needs to be not in this spot. Perhaps a little bit higher, a little bit more over, something kind of like that. Let's look at the rotates here as well. I think it's fine here. Let's key those and then delete that next one. I feel like that next one's a little off. Yeah, so there's a little more of a blend through there. And then at this point, let's drag these fingers. And the thumb a little bit more here too. And then let's spread them out here. Because I'm going to be going in to grip that sword again. So we've got this moment where I don't know if that index feels right here. Should be something probably more like that. Okay, I think that one's fine. Here we should have it being, like I said, dragging. Maybe we can extend the fingers out a little bit more though. And I don't think we need so much spread here. Maybe a little more roll in the little finger. And on the index as well. And that feels fine there. Maybe pull out that ring finger a little bit more. Okay, we'll go ahead and set that one there. And then we're going to need that thumb to go over and up here. So we might need to be rotating inward a little bit there. Okay, let's try and make this a little more natural here. A little less spread there. Okay, maybe we'll need to rotate it in a little bit more there. And again here, we're going to need that shoulder to pull down a little bit more for us so that we can stay connected here. And let's look at those fingers again. I think that index would still stay out further. And same with the middle. And let's look at there at the index and the middle finger again. Just delay those ones a frame so they hit like a frame later. There we go, just so we have that little bit of grip through. And I think we should probably go back anyways. Okay, and let's see how that works out. That looks a little bit better for us. Alright, yeah, that works a lot better. Doesn't feel like that hand's totally flashing out there. And I think we could probably have the everything on that hand be like 1 frame sooner, so it would grip it like a 1 frame quicker. Let's see. So you probably lose like a frame in here. I think that's a lot better. Let's now just add a little bit of up and down here. So I'll go ahead and save our file real quick. And let's get a little bit of up and down there. Wait for it to be done saving. Remember, it's always good to save multiple versions and save often. And let's try and grab the hand and the hip here. Down a little bit. Gonna delete that one. And let's see, give me 175. Get a few frames here. A few frames there. There and there, just so it kind of tapers off a little bit. Let's maybe do a little bit more than that. Let's just look here, try and taper that off a little bit better. Alright, maybe we should go a little bit slower than this. So let's go 180, and we'll go ahead and grab both of these, and give ourselves one more frame here, one more frame here, one more frame here, and another frame here. Let's see what our timing is. So we got 4 frames, which maybe let's make it 5 frames. So we got 5 frames, and this next one should be 6 frames, just so we go a little bit slower and a little bit less each time. So 6 frames, this should be 7 frames. And then let's go 8 frames here. Come on, there we go. And then 9 frames, which would give us 77, right? Okay. Alright, let's just do a play glass and just see just timing-wise how it feels. Alright, it's okay, but I think we could go about 2 frames longer per up and down. And let's look at our translate Y's there as well and make sure that we try and get there a little bit better. Like I said, we want 2 frames more on each side so that everything's a little bit slower. Give us 187 here, and let's see how that plays. Okay, it's better, but I think we need to get it down sooner. I think it's taking too long to hit that extreme down, so let's see. I think it should hit the extreme down pretty much about there. Hold on, let's do everything here. I just want it on the Y's though, not everything. So let's look here. Even maybe a frame sooner than that. And we'll have to look at our translate Y here. That up probably tomorrow and add some more in here. Let's just see how everything's going. Alright, it's okay. Still needs some more work and probably some more on that hand now that we moved everything with the body so far. See, there's kind of a flash over here. Let's delete that. Let's get that over a little bit sooner. And I think maybe we should push the hips over in, is this X? No, it'd be Z here. So they overshoot a little bit that way before they settle. so there's a little bit. Yeah, let's look at this hand again. This needs to be up and over. Polish up a little bit more tomorrow. I think that's a little bit better. I'll add some up and down a little bit to everything too. And let's look at the translate Y here. We don't need quite as much. Taper that off a little bit more. It feels a little better. Alright, let's do one less play blast, see if there's anything else we want to touch up here. Okay, it's still got a lot of work to go, but it's starting to get there. I think the timing works a little bit better with everything too. And we got that hand cleaned up a little bit more. And this is, this is kind of how shot goes. You work, you get all the important stuff in there, and then you're able to actually get in there and start breaking things down and start getting into some more nuanced stuff. Start getting into how is grip gonna go, how does how do you sell your weight shifts, how do you have those moments where the foot plant comes off and make it feel more believable, not just does it go from A to B, but how does it get there, and what way does it get there, and how much timing can you push around with things, and how much variation and interest can you add, and more pushing your poses a little bit more and everything too. So I think this is a good pass. I think we got some stuff that worked pretty well in there, so it was worthwhile doing, but let's throw everything back on there. Turn your curves off. And let's look at the thing as a whole, and we're going to wrap that up here. So let's do one final play blast. Added a few more frames onto everything. So what are we looking at now? Almost 240 frames or so. Be about 10 seconds. So it's getting pretty long here. We'll do another play blast, and then we'll wrap. Alright, takes a little while to play blast once you got all these other characters in there. But I think it's coming together. We still have quite a bit more that we could really polish up and push in this shot. Definitely we could get into some facial stuff. I don't even know if we're gonna, that could be a couple parts in and of itself. So maybe we'll do that, but I think there's still another good couple days worth of polish that I'd like to be able to get into and break down. Plus I want to flesh out that ending a little bit more, so we could add a little bit more, kind of movement to the shoulders and the chest. But it works for now, which, that's nice that we finally were able to get all the main beats of this shot in there. But we, I was also thinking maybe we could do like a light kind of walk before even the run, just where we could get a little bit of personality in there too. Have them kind of look around at what's going on. We'll see. I'm sure we could probably get onto some other ideas and everything soon too, so we're not spending a whole month on this shot. But let's take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of Frank Brangwyn, and he said, get the stuff from nature as much as you can. I think that's a wonderful concept and a great thing to implement into your work, so that you're always going to the original source rather than an iteration or someone else's version of it, so that you can have the closest to the truth of the things that you want to do. Like if you want to draw a tree, Googling tree and looking through all the pictures that other people have taken of trees and trying to do something like that, or seeing all the artist renditions of a tree and then going off of that. But just go outside and look at a tree and draw from that tree, and you're going to get something that isn't like anything else out there. I mean, it's a tree, so it can't be. There's probably something that's similar to it, but you're going to go to the main source to get your inspiration and to get your original idea. And then if you want to push it further, then go ahead and look at other people's work and everything, and try and incorporate the things that you like or don't like from it as well. But I love you guys lots. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you're enjoying doing some polishing passes, getting into or some blocking, really blocking plus stuff. So you can see kind of more the nuanced stuff of how, I know that a while ago people were wanting to see more in-depth work and the workflow that kind of I would use on a real shot, and you're starting to see some of that stuff come through. We've gotten past the basic body mechanics, and now we're getting into more some acting beats incorporated in there as well. But this stuff takes a while if you really want to do something that's got good sense of weight, a good sense of timing, a good sense of composition. Got good acting beats, that's got a flow. We've got 2 characters in here, so it's definitely a little more involved than a quick 48 frame walk cycle like some of the other videos. As always, if you guys want to show off the stuff that you're working on, throw it down in the comments down below. I'm happy to throw some thumbs up your way or check out your stuff. You guys are amazing. You're the reason that I do this. I could just do this work and not record it or anything. But I hope that you're getting something out of it, whether you're learning something new, whether you're learning what not to do, getting inspired by the things that we talk about or the things that we share together. But anyways, I love you guys lots. You're amazing. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. Keep being awesome. I hope you carved out some time out of your day to work on your own dreams and to take another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. And I think we'll wrap it up here. So that being said, we will see you for some more animation, some more imagination, some more creation tomorrow.